You're watching a Highwire Media podcast. Welcome to the Talking Texas Rangers show. As always, I'm your host, Larry Lease. Today's episode, we dive into all the latest headlines surrounding the Texas Rangers. Before we do that, give me your thoughts on all the topics we cover in the comments section below. And with that, let's dive into our first topic. Wyatt Langford's successful August showcases the 23-year-old's knack for late season heroics. At the tail end of the second big league season in what fans hope will be a long, successful career, Texas Rangers outfielder Wyatt Langford is once again shining in the late season spotlight. After going off in the month of September and October of his rookie season in 2024, Langford turned around a struggling summer with a hot month of August and is looking to keep it going into the final month of 2025 as the Rangers hunt down a postseason spot. The 23-year-old Florida native will have a bit more pressure to navigate this September, with the absences of Marcus Semien, Corey Seager, and Evan Carter. During his rookie season last year, Langford struggled to start the year, and a lot of people around Major League Baseball began to wonder if it was another big-time draft pick called up way too soon. After dealing with injury in May, he came back stronger than ever and ended the season on one of the hottest streaks seen from a rookie in franchise history. Langford won American League Rookie and Player of the Month honors in September. This August was more of the same for Langford, slashing .287, .424, .521 with 5 homers, 14 RBIs, 7 doubles, 21 runs scored, drew 21 walks, and had a .945 OPS in 27 games. It was a month that earned the outfielder the Rangers Player of the Month award. Currently, the former fourth overall pick leads the Rangers this season in home runs with 21, 58 walks, while trailing just Seager for the team lead in OBP, slugging, OPS, and behind Adolis Garcia and Semien for RBIs. As mentioned earlier, Texas is without Semien, Seager, Carter, and others down the stretch run of the season. And as of Monday, they might be without Garcia for a handful of games after hurting his quad in Arizona. While there are 14 to 15 other players that by all means need to step up alongside Langford, most of the burden to drive in runs will be on him and DH Jock Peterson, who has also transformed his season from an abysmal first half. It's still early into September, but Langford is only hitting 2 for 12 in the first 3 games of the month. With 6 huge games against the Astros in their future, as well as bouts against the NL Central leading Brewers and postseason hopeful Mets, the Rangers will need Wyatt more than ever down the stretch. And now on to our next topic. Bullpen woes have unfortunately reared its ugly head, prompting Ranger fans to ask, so what now? There isn't a plethora of arms you can trust coming out of the Texas Rangers bullpen right now. Aside from Shawn Armstrong, who has been rock solid all season, each of the relievers has had their fair share of shaky outings. The latest is Hobie Milner, who came in and gave up a back-breaking late-inning 3-run homer to Ketel Marte in Tuesday's 5-2 loss to the D-backs. So who can you trust in the bullpen right now? The answer is not many. Again, removing Armstrong from this group because he has come in and answered the call to the bullpen consistently and gotten opposing hitters out when it mattered. But looking at the rest of the pen, including Milner, Phil, Danny, Robert Garcia, and Caleb, all of them have had struggles over the last several weeks of the season, even as the Rangers have gotten back into the thick of the wildcard race, winning 9 of their last 12. If you look at their overall numbers, you'd think that things were much better than they are. For instance, the ERA for Milner, Maton, Colomb are .313, .304, and .252, respectively. But they have all been inconsistent and untrustworthy as of late. And Chris Martin has been injured so much that it is tough to imagine the 39-year-old being able to stay healthy for the final push with only 21 games remaining in the season. So it leaves Young and Ranger fans asking who can they rely on in the late innings as the team makes one final push to make the playoffs. President of Baseball Operations Chris Young went out and signed Maton and Colomb in an effort to fortify a weak bullpen that has been using a closer-by-committee approach all season long. Maton has a plus slider and has come in to save a game over his 12 innings of work since joining the club, but over his last 7 innings of work, he has surrendered 7 earned runs on 6 hits with 3 blown saves. He's a much better pitcher than than that, and it's time for him to step up. Colomb is a crafty left-hander who relies on a change of speed to throw off the timing of the hitter. He was solid all season in Minnesota, but since arriving in Arlington, he has 7.56 ERA and has given up uncharacteristic 9 hits in 8.1 innings pitched. If the Rangers are really going to make some noise in September and hopefully October, these two veteran free agents will be key. Let me know what you think is going to happen. And now on to our next topic. Astros drama is exactly what the Red Hot Rangers needed in the AL West chase. While not everything went perfectly for the Texas Rangers on Tuesday night, no one can deny that they've crept back into the playoff race in a big way. Not only that, but they've crept back into the AL West race thanks to both the Houston Astros and Seattle Mariners hitting the skids at the end of August and beginning of September. In fact, the Astros are feeling the pressure, and Bruce Bochy and company need to take advantage. The latest sign of the Astros came last night when reliever Framber Valdez seemed to lose his temper with his own catcher. Valdez gave up a grand slam in the 5th inning of the contest between the Yankees and the Astros. Before he served up the homer, catcher Cesar Salazar tried to get his pitcher to step off the mound just before he threw the pitch. Valdez ignored that call and threw the pitch anyway, which led to Yankees outfielder Trent Grisham hitting it out of the park. The grand slam gave the Yankees a 6-0 lead at the time, and New York went on to win 7-1. During the next at-bat, Valdez drilled Salazar in the chest with a pitch that appeared to get away from both of them. Salazar looked stunned and eventually took his helmet off and stared at Valdez hard from home plate. Valdez immediately turned his back on Salazar and went about his business. It was a scene that Ranger fans had to be loving. Their own team lost to the Diamondbacks on Tuesday night. After the game, both Salazar and Valdez said all the right things. They claimed there were no hard feelings, but the damage was done. The Astros have seen a seemingly insurmountable division lead dwindle to 3 games over Seattle and 4.5 over the Rangers. Meanwhile, Texas is playing without many of its stars and still winning 8 of 11 games. All the pressure is on the teams ahead of them. The Rangers need to take advantage and keep doing what they're doing. The longer they stay within earshot of first place and the wild card, the more pressure exists for the teams ahead of them to hold them off. Give me your thoughts on all the topics we covered. And with that, we're going to take a look at 3 prospects to look out for with September call-ups looming. September comes every year and allows players to make their debut or get a chance at the big leagues once again, as 2 extra spots on every team allows them to get creative with their roster construction. This leads to top prospects getting the chance to get their debut in and see how it is at big league level. It can ease their nerves for the future while allowing teams to see how ready they really are. The Rangers are in a spot where they are currently surging despite the world trying to knock them down. This likely limits the options for top guys, but gives opportunities to guys that might be ready now. So we're going to give you 3 Ranger players to watch out for in September. And of course, apologies if I butcher these names wrong. So starting off, we have Emiliano Teodo. A stellar 2024 campaign had him knocking on the door entering the year, but a nightmare 2025 has pushed his timeline way back. They might just have to give him a chance to evaluate if there's anything left there. The transition to the bullpen has not been friendly. Getting him around a major league bullpen and familiar with how the pros navigate the game can be extremely beneficial to his career. His stuff is still amplified. The talent has not left, but the numbers are horrendous. It is hard to evaluate his future while just keeping him in the same situation. If they need an inning or 2 in a rough spot, Teodo could hear his name called for his MLB debut. Next, Cameron Cawley. While currently not on the 40-man roster, he's most likely the next infield prospect to be called up. He's currently in AA, and there has been a major run of injuries in the infield for the Rangers. It may be necessary to get a guy up this month, as they are 1 more infield injury away from even having to consider calling up top prospect Sebastian Walcott. The Rangers likely will not want to rush him to debut at all and will look for another option. This is your break glass in case of emergency scenario, but we are getting very close to that scenario happening. It would not be the most ideal situation for him, but should be on high alert and try to push with a hot streak to make a case. And then Mark Church. Many fans had lofty expectations for Church heading into the year. He had a solid 2024 campaign, made his debut, looked strong in spring training, made the roster, and then just disappeared completely. There were even thoughts he may have been the closer during spring training. He had the chance to stay in the bullpen, but got hurt along the way, sent down earlier in the year, and has sputtered mightily in AAA. But September allows for expanded rosters, and Church could be an easier replacement since he's already on the 40-man roster. Getting back to the big leagues could be good for Church. He was on a great path earlier in the year and enjoyed some success. He can contribute to the Rangers in the future and will likely hear his name called when they need an arm. All right, guys, before we take off, we'd like to mention our sponsor, Fanatics. The postseason is still in our minds as we approach it, and what better way to celebrate the postseason than by All right, guys, the best place to get your Texas Rangers merchandise, whether it's authentic jerseys, hats, collectibles, is Fanatics. All officially licensed, all shipped straight to your door. No more searching store after store. Fanatics is literally the one-stop shop for everything Rangers. And here's the kicker. With Fanatics Fan Cash Rewards, you actually earn credit every time you buy. So the more you rep your Rangers, the more you save for next time. So Rangers Nation, don't wait. Head on over to fanatics.com today using the link in the description. Load up your cart and gear up like a true fan. Because with Fanatics, it's not just about wearing the logo. It's about living the moment. And of course, if you want to support the channel, you can buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/TTRangers. And as always, hit that subscribe button down below. Give us a thumbs up if you like our video. And of course, you can find us on all major podcast platforms. And we'll see you next time. Take care.